Cool. People are, I think, beginning to join in. I'm seeing the numbers rising, but we still do not have a lot of people. Okay. Things are picking up now. Is somebody on the? Okay, I see a like button. Is that what does that like signify? Can somebody tell me in the discussion if Tanya's session is over? Awesome. Looks like that session has ended. Awesome. Yeah, people here are picking up as well. Cool. Hi guys. So, yep, I see a lot of you are here already. So this is going to be our last session. It's going to be a very short session indeed. Probably 15 minutes or so. Just because it is a very important topic to talk about. That is our health, health in itself. So we're going to be talking about that with Deepak Saini, who is the founder and CEO of Healthians. But what is more important is, of course, we will be talking about health and stuff like that. But after this session is when we will move on to Shark Tank, which is something that a lot of you have been waiting for. So Shark Tank is also going to be hosted by Vaibhav Sisanti, who is a major influencer on LinkedIn. You should definitely hear in for that as well. So without much ado, let me call on Deepak. Deepak is the CEO of Healthians, and he will be talking today about how the healthcare industry and influencers can work together. What are the opportunities available? And after that, we will um, move on to the Shark Tank. We'll keep this super short. So let's get started.
Hi, Madhavan. How are you?
Very well. Thank you, Deepak. Thank you for taking time on a Friday evening
No,
to talk to us.
my pleasure.
Super. We have a lot of people listening in. I'm so grateful. This is like a way better turnout than what we had yesterday at this time. Largely because yesterday we had a goof up towards the end of the evening where a lot of people couldn't join in. But today I think that has
Oh,
been
okay.
sorted. We have a lot of people who are still with us. I'm super surprised and very grateful. Deepak, so we can get started whenever you're ready.
Absolutely.
Let's get started. Uh, I know that Healthians, I've already given a short introduction that you are in the health segment. You were talking about a lot more details about Healthians. If you can just take a minute to tell us what Healthians is, I will
Absolutely.
dig into this.
Absolutely. So, Healthins is basically an B2C diagnostic brand in India, which basically does end-to-end diagnostics and has been a pioneer in launching a health test at home service across India and currently is in about 50 cities. What we do is we go at home, collect blood samples, send it to our lab, and send you reports on your mobile, giving you convenience, affordability, faster tats sitting at your home. And we're more of a preventive healthcare company than a curative healthcare company, and we believe more into wellness than anything else. And we started our journey back in 2015. Been 6 years in the course of thing, but got about trust of about 1.5 million consumers and actively growing in about 50 cities today.
That's super. So I have been following Healthians for a while, and I'm super excited to be able to talk to you today. But we're going to have a very influencer twist to the discussion, not so much of the
Absolutely.
healthcare twist to the session today because that's the agenda, right? Influencer con. So I'd
Absolutely.
like to start off this discussion with a very simple question. No? If you look at diagnostics, it has been a purely B2B business, where companies apply to be customers of such businesses. And Healthians was the first brand to kick off as a B2C brand. That is,
Yeah.
you directly appeal to the customers through your online presence. So, how
Absolutely.
did Healthians actually go about building this brand that is digital first in a lot of ways? And what were the challenges that you faced along the way?
Sure. Absolutely. So as I told you earlier, I come in from a background where I've spent around 13, 14 years in healthcare, specifically on the marketing and technology side. there was an option to go the same way where people are going in the B2B space, and this industry is largely 50 years old in India, where a lot of people have built larger labs and they've decided to go the brick and mortar way of creating franchisees and collection centers where you go and give your samples. We realized that there's a lot of middlemen, you can say, overcost in the system, and that delays the whole process also. And because of that, the consumers are not really aware of a lot of things that they should be aware of. And because it has been meant in a way that if I talk to anyone 6 years back when we entered the space, the traditional way of getting diagnostic or consuming diagnostics was go to a doctor and he'll prescribe you something, and he will also tell you which lab to go to, and then you get a test done. We realize this is a longer process. At the same time, it is opposite, because as a service, when you are ill, you should be resting at home rather than doing rounds to the labs and hospitals and doctors and getting yourself crazily stressed. So we thought that we should create a brand that we should go directly to the consumer, tell him this is the honest price, this is how this happens, and you can directly come to us. You have a single point contact about all your queries and complaints and anything. You don't have to roam around and talk to franchisees and all those people. And in return, what we give you is about 40% lesser cost, because that middleman is taken off. And a lot of people said that this business is not going to run. Reason being, it is largely influenced by the medical practitioners, and people does not understand, and they won't go directly to you, and they will always go through the clinicians. And we took that as a challenge, and we said that is the case only when you are sick, right? But we are a younger population. India had about 50% of the people who are under the age of 30 at that point of time. And we realized that these are the people who understand that going directly to a B2C brands gives them a lot of transparency, trust, and they can really save a lot of money. And that's where we started. We took that plunge. And I have spoken in a lot of my interviews telling people that I got 12 rejections before I got my first investment just because of this model, which was going B2C rather than going the old traditional way. And it was a self-belief that it will work. And we started digitally creating our brand using a lot of SMS in the first year, to moving to Facebook in the second year, adding Google in the third year, and then video content stuff. And I would proudly say that we are a 85% digital marketing brand, which got developed rather than doing anything physical, while this business is largely going offline and doing channel partnerships and offline building in. And we have built almost 1.5 million consumers in the last 5 years, out of which 90 to 95% of them would be digital. And that brand completely, people know that it's an online brand. You won't see us anywhere in the shops or in the markets or our boards offline. We are a completely online brand. And thankfully, it got developed over a time, and we continued what we thought. And finally, we are here. And there is a long way to go also.
Right. So, you do talk a lot about health karma. So, do you want to take a moment to talk about what you mean by health karma, and then your suggestions for the youth?
Absolutely.
I think 100% of our audience here is 20 to 30.
Absolutely. So I'll give you a small anecdote on that. So while I largely spent my time into healthcare and hospitals at that point of time, our usual, you can say, usual feedback towards when we get into any kind of a trouble or a hospital or this thing has commonly been, hey Bhagwan, hospital ki shakal mat dikhana, right? I don't want to land into one hospital. And that's a common scenario for everyone around. One, because of the mistrust that has been created over a time. And then obviously it's about your health and you don't want to land into that negative space. And I used to ask people that, what are you going to do that you don't land into that particular hospital for that? And the answer was nothing, right? I'll do whatever I want to do, but I don't want to land in the hospital, and which is not possible. And the reason is the karma. Your entire health is totally dependent upon what you do today. And when I say today, is basically 25 to 30. And a lot of chronic diseases that you adopt is basically in this age. And it is 90% because of your lifestyle. I don't know how many of you know, but out of the $260 billion industry in healthcare, 70% of the spend is done by lifestyle disease patient in India. So if I cut off the people who have diabetes, hypertension, thyroid, kidney disease, liver disease, and a lot of communicable diseases which happens because of your lifestyle, then this market is very, very small. Which means that if we correct our lifestyles at the right age, not only we will live longer, but we will live healthier along with living longer. And that was the spirit that we started with, stating that if you do right things, so we usually say in terms of karma that it always comes back, right? It is also in terms of your health. If you give it a right kind of a shot at the right kind of an age and feed it with the right kind of a karma, it is going to come back and help you in your later ages of life. Average age of an Indian in the last 20 years have gone up from 72 to 78. And maybe we are living 6, 7, 8 years more than we were living 20 years back. But in that 8 years, the healthy years are just 20%. So what is the use of adding that age if you're not living it healthy? And that's where the things comes in, which talks about health karma. And that's where the whole origination came from. And we also have something called health karma score in our platforms, where we said that why don't you check your lifestyle by answering about 13 questions, and we're going to tell you that how healthy you are in amongst the age group of your people, and your habits today is taking you where, and what is the risk that involved in the next 10 years or 15 years from here, which actually led a lot of people to think about adopting wellness and preventive healthcare, checking themselves early in the age, and correcting that lifestyle things to become more healthy. And this is a human scenario. If you get a health report in your hand and it shows something in the bold, maybe a higher cholesterol, for at least 15 days you're not going to have a chola bhatura, I'm sure. For at least 15 days you will leave those butters and parathas and stuff like that. And because you are conscious in your mind that there's something not good in your body, and that's where the thing starts correcting. So there are a lot of things without going to a hospital that you can correct with yourself. The only thing is you should know what is the karma and how do you really improve your karma from there.
So I'm 27 right now. What do you think most people like me are getting wrong right now? What am I probably getting wrong? What am I doing wrong?
I think our specifically in India, our food habits are very, very different, right? The kind of working hours that we have, the kind of schedules that we get into, the kind of food that we eat. If you really look at the population size abroad, a lot of people are lactose intolerant. They don't take lactose. They are gluten free. And while in our childhood, we are actually starting our childhood from taking a gluten, which is the wheat, and we are completely dependent upon wheat throughout our life, right? That gives you a lot of sugar in your body, that creates a lot of diabetes, a lot of other things. And at the same time, our exercise regime and everything, because of our working style and stress levels, are really, really low. So looking at the kind of balance that we have to create, either you have to be a fitness freak or running around, or you spend 2 hours doing that fitness, and anything that you're eating probably is good. But if a lot of us does not get to that kind of a regime, then we have to keep looking at what's not working right. And every body is different. And when you are at 27, I would say probably there will be a lot of factors that will depend into how much do you go out, how much do you drink, how much do you stay in the sun, what's your digestive habits, what is metabolism, and stuff like that, which will define that what is that you should take care of yourself in the next 5 years. And then that's something that you should track once every year. And if it is running normal, once every year. If it doesn't run normal, probably once every 3 months. And change your lifestyle rather than getting into the medications.
Absolutely, absolutely. I think this unfortunately was a very, very short session, so we'll move on to the next question super quickly.
Absolutely.
That is, no, for the influencers who are there in the audience today, right?
Yeah.
How is the healthcare as an industry adapting to the influencer-led marketing? Now, what is the role of influencers in the kind of industry that you operate in?
So I think a very primary. A lot of people won't know, but people does not look at influencer and healthcare together because they think it's a very, very serious domain and stuff like that. But I personally feel, coming in from my own experience in marketing and digital space, very, very clearly the influencer has a lot of roles to play in healthcare. And if you really look at one common thing that has been mostly discussed within our circles, or if we see people around, is always asking for a reference for that one good doctor, or one good lab where I can go and get tested, or one good hospitals where I can trust and go into, right? And most of the decisions are made based on references that we gather in our friend circles or from somebody. And in healthcare, that decision making is almost about 74% plus. So when 75% of the people are actually thinking about taking a decision about their healthcare influenced by somebody's this thing, or at least getting a reference from somebody, then it is definitely a market wherein an influencer has a big role to play. Secondly, also in a healthcare, unlike any e-commerce, despite the kind of money you invest and despite the kind of branding budgets that you put in, it cannot grow overnight. It's not a service that you can actually push in a lot of money into and you can make 10x of the customers next day. It won't happen because it's healthcare. It will. So we call healthcare as a growth like a Chinese bamboo stick, right? A Chinese bamboo stick is straight and then it has that round, it goes slowly, 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 and then it shoots. When it shoots, that's the time when you have that network effect. So you are a healthcare brand, it will take you 5-6 years to build. People will know you around, will test you around, people will gather information about you and try to take, and then your word of mouth travels. And the word of mouth travels through influencing, and that influencing takes you to the next this thing, and then it shoots like a Chinese bamboo stick, which is straight and not even a hockey growth, but a multiple growth. And that has been seen in larger companies also. So I would say all the influences there is every healthcare company today needs, because usually in healthcare what happens is you trust a brand only on the basis of that this is 25-year-old, this is 30-year-old, this is my neighborhood, I'm seeing it from childhood. But what about if he's overcharging? What about just being having 25-year-old infrastructure, not having anything innovative, and we are still believing on that? So there are a lot of new brands, there are a lot of new companies which wants that kind of a trust to be created, and you are the guys who can probably try them, give the right kind of feedback, and tell people that I have used this service and this is actually the one where I spent 40% less, or maybe they came on time, or their services were better, or they have a digital thing, don't have to carry my records, it's all EMR and stuff, wherein the people trust gets created. Because in healthcare what you need is a credibility and trust, and I think a lot of influencers can do it. And I can tell you from our experience, we had early investor called Yuvraj Singh with us, who's iconic cricketer, and we actually in the early ages the people trusted on us because of him only, and people saw that he is associated with the company, he being the influencer or the front end brand, and people could trust that a new healthcare company for giving their blood samples on its report. So it worked very well in our case in building the brand. And be it an ambassador or a known face or somebody talking about it, it does works in the healthcare, and I think that's the large piece.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Deepak, I am being by the next panelist that we are beginning to overshoot. So I would like to hand you the mic for the last comment here. How can people in the audience make the most out of this opportunity? How can they involve with Healthians and take things forward?
Absolutely. I think we are internally working a lot in terms of creating this kind of a network wherein we want people to experience a bit of a service, understand how we do it and how this market works, and enroll with us in terms of becoming our brand ambassador and influencer in different cities. Also, let us know that this is a city that we can get into where the people are, and because we are just in 50 and India has about 350 cities where these healthcare services are required, specifically in tier 2 and tier 3. And regionally also, we want people talking different languages and local languages to actually tell what we do. So we are not good at probably doing everything in the local languages. So for an example, Gujarat, right? So everything is influenced very well when you talk in the same language that they understand. And there, the influencers' roles are very, very influential out there. So we want people from different cities which can speak different languages, and we were more than happy. You can write to us, and we are more than happy to engage with you.
Where can they write to you?
Yeah, so you can write to me at deepak.sahani@healthians.com, or you can also write to us at info@healthians.com.
I'll just put this in the chat. Of course, this is also going to go on the email that will be a follow-up to this particular discussion. Deepak, I'm afraid we're running out of time here, but thank you so much for your crisp advice on diagnostics and what role it has to play in our lives, and how influencers in general can help in shaping up the healthcare industry, which is a very, very crucial industry in our country at this point. So thank you so
very
much.
It was my pleasure, and wish you all a good health. Take care. Be safe.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you so much, Deepak. Thank you, guys. Thank you for tuning in. The next session with the Shark Tank, the most awaited event of the session of the event is about to start. So make sure you don't miss that. We're going to wait for you there, but I will see you on the Shark Tank session right in a few minutes.